My God. I'm like the technical person at the beginning, and like I don't really know what I'm doing. And
so at this point, hi, I'm James Wesley. This is Seth Rudetsky.
This is like our 75th show, and I'm still in a state of shock.
In the 80s, and yet
still don't know how to start. It's just how we're like our own tech people.
At this point, I just sit back and I just watch Seth.
No, you don't. You actually comment, and you literally said I didn't know what I was doing, but I like your funny version of it. Anyway,
welcome to Stars in the House.
Hi guys. This is a live stream we do twice a day, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. It's live, and then it stays up at starsinthehouse.com, and people watch it all over the world to kind of feel better during this weird isolation that we're all in. But plus, they also donate to the Actors Fund. We're mainly a fundraiser for the Actors Fund, which, by the way, it's a misnomer. And one of my best friends just posted something not understanding what the Actors Fund is. Tell us what the Actors Fund is, James.
Yeah. The friend that Seth is talking about, I'm
not going to out him.
We won't out him.
But he
is out. He's gay. But we won't out him in this way.
He lives on Havenhurst. You know what I'm talking about if you're watching right now.
That's right.
Havenhurst Drive.
Oh, that's funny. No, but our friend, we'll just call him Jay.
Oh my God. Just say it.
Really actually commented that he thought it was just for actors or
he
people
was like,
only in theater.
And he was like, we're fundraising for people in the theater. It's not. It's for anybody who's living in the arts.
Any professional in the performing arts. All of us are hurting right now, but especially we're talking about people that are dance teachers, voice teachers, not just people in LA or New York or San Francisco, all over the country.
People that are ushers in the Midwest.
That's
right. Every place is closed. People that are script supervisors, best boys, gappers. I don't even know what they do, but they don't have work. What is a best boy? I don't know what it means. But the point is nobody has work, and they can go to the Actors Fund to get help. Most people in the arts live check to check.
That's right.
And suddenly checks stopped. It wasn't like we were like, oh, let's save up for the next few months. Like it was just like everything's over.
And yet the bills for the health insurance premium, for food, for rent, utilities, all of that were still coming due. And that's where the Actors Fund has come through for a lot of people in the performing arts.
And we've had so many big stars that have been doing this have been saying, oh, by the way, I went to the Actors Fund for help. They paid my rent money years ago. Yeah, our friend from This Is Us, like people just keep mentioning to us at the Actors Fund, you just go to them, you say, I need money, and they will literally give you money. It's not a crazy rigmarole. So, And let me also say this, the Actors Fund is in more need now than ever for money because normally they said they get maybe 200 requests per week. Right now they're getting at least 200 per day. Requests per day. Right. But the way they make money has been totally canceled. They had a big gala with Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew Broderick, canceled. They had a reunion of any Broadway? Ragtime. Yes, I played it on Broadway. I'm not bragging about myself right now. My point is, though, the reunion of Ragtime, yes, I was. The reunion of Ragtime is canceled, and that was going to make them a ton of money. So the ways they make money, canceled. So they're looking for things like this to get them some money. The minimum donation is $5, and then maximum is anything. So here's how you donate. You donate at starsinthehouse.com, and then once you donate, you're going to get a receipt. Immediately forward that receipt to starsinthehouse2020@gmail.com, and then we're going to have one of the stars read the donations, like the Jerry Lewis Telethon, like so-and-so from so-and-so gave blah, blah, blah. So you have to just forward whatever receipt you get to starsinthehouse2020@gmail.com. One more final thing. Darren Criss is coming on the show. If you have a request for something for him to sing, make a nice, delicious donation and say, I want Darren Criss to sing, and I'm telling you I'm not going. Whatever the song is.
He's got his guitar ready to go.
He's got his guitar. So is that all we have to say?
Well, there's a few other things. So we started 7 weeks ago today, and our grand total.
Today is our 7-week anniversary.
That's right, 7 weeks and 2 shows just about every day. And it really, I would say the average donation is about $25. It adds up, folks, because we are now at $264,500 raised for the Actors Fund.
Still got it.
Just doing it from our living room and inviting talented friends and new friends like today.
Yeah.
To come and spend an hour with us. So it also, by the way, because I know a lot of people are watching who maybe haven't seen the show before. This also, because it did start because of a pandemic around the world. And so we have our own doctor. We have Dr. John LaPook, the chief medical correspondent for CBS News, who's also our chief medical correspondent. And he'll be coming by to give us any latest updates.
He comes at the midpoint of the show and gives us whatever medical updates you have. Or if you have an important question, you can put it in the comments and we can post it. I'm going to look at the comments right now. And if I just see where is Darren Criss 45 times, I'm going to have,
well, it's a lot of we love. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That's wonderful.
We get it.
We get it.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, look, now that would be fine. Look at this one right here. It's 3 a.m. in Turkey.
Wait,
not
yes,
that. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I guess for the doctor, 3 a.m. in Turkey, and I woke up. Let's get this thing started. Well,
I don't like the pushiness, but I like.
We're almost done.
Wait, can I donate from Australia? If I see cough syrup one more effing time, Can I donate from Australia? Yes. Just go to starsinthehouse.com and you can donate.
All right. So the comments are going so fast. I don't know if we're going to really be able to do the
Yeah.
comments.
If I see the word cough syrup again, I don't know what it means.
Just, there we go.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
those comments.
Just donate and then forward your email. I've had it.
I did want to read this email, and I'll try to read it fast. Oh, by the way, so we do this. The platform StreamYard, which is great. This is not Zoom. Zoom, you can't stream out to Facebook and YouTube.
You can't do Zoom
and
live.
Periscope.
You can't do a live stream. You can just do
you can't do all those
unlimited
places.
people.
So we use StreamYard, but the limitations for StreamYard is that we cannot have every guest, every cast member, because we've got a lot of them from Hollywood. We can't have them all on at the same time. And so we divided them up. So you'll see half of them in the beginning, half of them at the end. So just so everyone knows.
So if we don't see your favorite, I don't want to see a string of comments on the side. Where is it? I will block that shit.
But if they've seen Hollywood, then quite
Everyone's
frankly, everyone should be their favorite.
Everyone's your favorite.
I'm just saying. But I want to read this because Hollywood, we literally, and I mean literally, just finished watching the last episode 5 minutes ago.
Spoiler alert.
We wanted to complete watching it before we got everyone here. But I felt like this is really apropos for we had cast members from a reunion yesterday from the Prom, which was on Broadway, which was describe it in 10 words or less.
The Prom is about a lesbian couple in high school that aren't allowed to go to their prom. The school cancels the prom, and by the end, the lesbians get to go to the prom, and it's a really beautiful, uplifting story and very, very funny too. And there were a lot of fans that were obsessed with the Prom.
So this is Caitlin from Texas who wrote in. I won't read the whole thing, but she's been donating basically $10 every episode. But she didn't realize we'd be doing so many episodes, so she's dropped it down to 5. But she says, she said, ever since day one of Stars in the House, I've been hoping for a prom reunion. I missed it live, but my heart fluttered this morning. This is just today when I saw that it had happened. We had so much fun seeing the show on Broadway last year, and we're incredibly sad when closing was announced. I can't wait for the tour and for so many people from my conservative hometown in Texas to see themselves on stage when the show eventually passes through San Antonio. Hopefully some adult eyes will be opened, even if only slightly, and at the very least, some kids will see themselves represented and celebrated on stage. What a show. And I think the Prom, Ryan Murphy's The Prom for the movie.
Oh my God, you're right.
In their last days of filming.
Yeah.
So
it's all,
apropos in many, many ways.
And Hollywood, it's a very similar message about seeing yourself for how important representation is. And that's a big message of Hollywood or Hollywood land, which is the sign that she jumps off from. Spoiler alert.
So on that note.
What? Okay, so I'll play some theme music.
You got the names? I'll swing it over here.
Wait, do I have the names?
You're right there.
But aren't you introducing them?
Oh, I will. Sure.
All right, I'll do it. Here we go. I'll play piano.
I'll bring them on. All right.
Okay, so our first group from Hollywood. Ms. Holland Taylor. Joe Mantello.
Hold on, okay. I gotta find Joe. There's Joe.
Mira Sorvino.
All right.
And Dylan McDermott. It's hard to play and talk at the same time. I'm out.
Hi, guys.
Everyone.
Hi.
So many Broadway people here. Hi, guys.
Hi, here's Darren Criss.
Dylan, watch what I can do. Okay, so Holland. I'm not. I will block.
It's the first one to ask a question. Okay, got it.
Okay, so guys, let's talk about the roles you play and how you got the gig. Holland, who do you play in Hollywood?
I play a woman named Ellen Kincaid, who's sort of a force behind the scenes at the studio. It's sort of the second in command of the Joe Mantello.
Wait, Holland, why do you sound like you're on an old Victrola? The quality.
I don't have any earbuds. Is that probably changed? I'm just talking on my computer.
Why did it sound?
Does it sound bad? Can you not understand?
It's just so hazy. I love the steely-eye focus, but the verbiage. Hold on. Let me just. What do you think you can do to make it sound?
Maybe get closer to the computer.
Get closer to the computer, possibly.
What?
You maybe get closer to the laptop.
It's not a laptop. It's my desktop computer.
Old school.
There we go.
I wonder if there's something wrong with it. The sound. Hey, let's not be bothered with this. You want to use me in the next group and I'll try and figure it out if I got something.
Oh,
you know
Mira.
What? Holland.
Yes.
Guess what? It was Mira Sorvino.
It was
when I take it.
Yeah, there's some airy thing Mira going on with yours, and I don't know what it is.
When I mute her mic, we can hear you fine, Holland.
Okay.
So Mira, we're going to come to you, but we're just sit there under a mute and just react. Acting is reacting. Okay, Holland, describe who you play and how you got the gig.
Well, I got the gig because Ryan Murphy called up and said, "I'm writing a part for you." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "No, really, I am, and you have to play it. She has moxie. She's wonderful." And what are you going to do? Anything Ryan Murphy asked you to do, and so I just trusted him, which is a good thing to do, and just did it. And I worked very closely with Joe Mantello, who is an old friend, and it was sort of a meta experience because we're both seasoned professionals in Hollywood playing seasoned professionals in Hollywood. It was a lot of fun for those two.
I love it. There was so much a great connection.
Oh my gosh, the chemistry between the two of you was so great.
Yeah, Joe, how do you know Holland? Is there a Madame Morrible I don't know about connection happening? How do you know? How do you know Holland Taylor?
Oh, I don't know. How do we know each other? We just know each other.
I mean, after
I don't remember
years in New York. I mean, it's hard not to. We just crossed. Actually, you did direct me for a minute in Vagina Monologues.
Oh, I forgot to do Broadway.
What you said.
That's right. That's
Not doing what you said.
Joe, describe who you play, Joe.
I play Rock Hudson. And I play Dick Samuels, who is the head of production at Ace Studios, and Holland's partner in Prom.
Were you basing? You're like this, basically a closet, more than closeted, really a shut down, older gay character. Is your character? I feel like a lot of characters are based on real people. Are you actually based on anybody for real from the Hollywood system, or just sort of conglomerate of a lot of?
I think originally, when Ryan originally talked to me about it, he said he's sort of like Irving Thalberg, an East Coast intellectual but Mr. Thalberg died when he was very young, probably 35, I think. But they share many, many, many similarities. So, but that's the closest comparison that there can be.
To anybody. Dylan, first of all, nice wig. You look amazing in Hollywood.
No.
Oh, that wig. Well, that wig's amazing. What? Okay, so describe who you play, dear.
I play an actor, producer, and a pimp.
Don't we all? Oh, but you really are. You're kind of based on an actual pimp from Hollywood, right?
Yeah, Scotty Bowers. I mean, loosely based on Scotty Bowers. He had a gas station in the 40s, and he did pimp out some boys. So, I think the show kind of started with the conception of the gas station.
I have this scene where you first basically ask, let me make sure this is the right one. Yeah, this is where you first ask someone to start basically hooking for you. Here we go.
Look, all I'm saying is, I know a hard luck fella when I sees one. I used to be right where you are. I used to worry about my wife and kids. They're grown now. She's dead. God bless her. Good woman. But I've been where you are, wondering what my life was gonna mean.
What do you want?
I run a service station, and business is booming. I could use a good-looking fella like yourself pumping gas.
Why do you need someone good-looking to pump gas?
Yeah. Why? No answer.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, I definitely get a lot of good-looking guys that come over and pump gas and other things. I'll leave it at that.
Silence, please. It's PG-13. Okay, Mr. Sorvino, I'm going to unmute you and see if that Raging River sound is gone. Wow.
Now my dogs are
The dogs don't mind, but it feels like you're living in the bath. Water is running. I can still hear you. So tell everybody who you play.
I play Dean Crandall. I run a kennel. No, I don't know what they're doing. Somebody must be at the gate.
That's all right.
I'm basically a Lana Turner-esque character, but not as successful or as arch or as kind of Teflon as Lana Turner was in her life. She's more of an also-ran, vulnerable, kind of a good egg. I'd say trapped a little bit. Always an optimist, has spoken with a mid-Atlantic accent so long she has no recollection of how she used to sound. And I loved playing her because she's by turns a little bit ridiculous, but then kind of poignant.
Mira, before you started filming, did you go and watch a lot of old movies from like the 40s or anything? Or
I did, because Ryan had said that she was somewhat like Lana. And so I watched as many Lana Turner movies as I could and documentaries, and I read all of her autobiographies. And then once I actually started playing her, I realized, no, she's really her own character. But she had a similar patois, a similar way of trying to glide into a room, you know, sort of playing the part of that elusive silver screen starlet that's become her de facto personality. She's trying to be that at all times, but you know, she's sort of suffering underneath it, I would say.
You know, every time we've interviewed women that have had roles from sort of glamorous periods, like the Desperate Housewives, they basically all stolen their costumes. So Mira and Holland, did you steal anything from the set? And if so, what?
Did I steal any of the costumes? Is that
Yes.
what you said? I actually was given a couple of them because they modeled them after pictures of my mother in the clothes that she was wearing, which was like 1945 era. So the clothes were just right. So, and they surprised me with this one outfit that was exactly from that picture of my mother. And I was so touched by it, and I felt so strange, wonderfully strange, wearing it. I sat up a little better than I normally would, and I sort of composed myself a little better because my mother was very poised. And I felt this ineffable sense of affection for all that my mother gave me, because I was wearing the blazer, blouse, and the pin. And it was very, very touching of them to do that. And I would have stolen it, but they had to.
They're such stunning costumes. Mira, what about you? Did you steal or were you given any?
I was not neither. No. I was so in awe of what they were doing in the hair, makeup, wardrobe departments, and it was really such an amazing experience to step into the past wearing all of this true vintage stuff, or then they would cut dress from a vintage pattern if they needed doubles, and all the jewelry was spectacular. There's only one scene in which I wear one bracelet that was actually mine, because I had this rhinestone bracelet that I asked if I could wear as part of it. So that's my memento. I really brought it in and then took it away, but I just loved everything she wore. It was just so larger than life, and it really puts you there. But I saw those pictures of you, Holland, in your mother's outfit. It was very moving and beautiful. It's just so special.
Yeah, they were just, again, a shout out about the wigs. You saw suddenly, like, you know, the wigs for almost everybody, including Dylan's character, were so superb. I mean, you look like that, you go, wow, I better practice well.
Right, it lifts you up.
Yeah.
So, Joe, I don't know if you're as extremely controlling as I am, but was it difficult? You're such a famous Broadway director. Is it weird to go back to being an actor, or you're like, can I just handle this myself right now?
No, I did try to talk Ryan out of it. When he asked me to do it, I said that I wanted to give him Victor Garber's phone number, because I thought, no, I mean, when you're working for someone like Ryan and with these wonderful actors, no, I'm happy to surrender power.
You don't even do the passive aggressive, oh, it would be a good idea if you, one of those type of comments?
Holland, did I do that?
No, you didn't. Listen, I knew Joe long before he was a big director. He was an actor. He was a wonderful actor. And I've said to him several times over the years, I want to see you act. Don't act again. Don't give up acting just because you're, fully occupied being the most important Broadway director there's going. So it's great to see that.
I was so happy when you went back to acting, Joe. So speaking of acting, so this is what I always do with people that we have on the show. I sort of challenge them about a couple of things. Dylan, I'm going to do it with you. Basically, I'm obsessed that people memorize roles and they do them 8 times a week. And I'm so curious when the mind finally says, I no longer have to have this memorized. So I'm curious if your mind got rid of this. We're going to go back to Biloxi Blues days. What year did you do that, dear?
Oh, boy. Probably 80, I want to say 85.
Okay, so you probably still have it memorized. So tell me if you can finish this line. Did you remember you said at one point, you were like, 48 hours pass? Hot damn. If I make it with one woman every 4 hours, that means I could have.
Oh, man.
He does the math.
7 women?
That's the line before. No, he's not good at the math. So he says, that means I could have a lot of women.
Oh, darn it.
That's the Neil Simon joke. But I will go back because you're actually on the right track. I make it with the 7 richest women in the world, and I'm so hot, each dame gives me $1 million. At the end of the week, I have
a lot of money.
$7 million. I'm going to say you still have memorized. Good work.
Remember that.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Okay, Mira.
Am I unmuted again?
I'm
Okay, thank
extremely
you. I feel
impressed.
like
Let's tell everybody what your major was and where you went. Where did you go, dear?
I went to Harvard and I was an East Asian languages and civilizations major, basically Chinese studies, and then I wrote my honors thesis about racial conflict in the PRC between Chinese and African students. Nothing to do with acting whatsoever.
Yeah, no, we had the same academic past, except for I was a piano major. All right, anyway, so I thought for fun, I'd ask you some questions from the East Asian final exam and see if you still remember.
Oh my God.
Mira, what was the long march?
Oh God, you're telling me. Like my mind is going blank right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we not?
How about what was
I can answer in Mandarin, maybe. No, let's not do that.
Oh yeah, I heard you speak fluent Mandarin. Why don't you describe who your character was for our Mandarin viewers? Because we do have people around the world. Can you describe your character at all?
他是一个演员的，一点点太大了，所以呢，现在他怕他要she's afraid she's going to lose her job. Yeah. Okay.
That was more of a subtext. So
Let's just talk. I don't want to be quizzed.
And finally,
by the way, I was trying to raise my hand before, and I know because I have to be muted because something weird about my sound, but I just wanted to say, Joe, I never got to do much besides sit next to you in the funeral, but you're so good in this. You're so heartbreaking. You're really like moving and elegant and wonderful, like just playing such an honorable soul. Like I just love you in this story. And Holland, you know how much I loved working in that scene with you. That was like my favorite scene in the whole show, and it just blew me away emotionally.
It was a wonderful thing to be part of, to look at you.
Seth,
It is a very.
can I ask you a question?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. All right. So I directed you, right?
Yeah.
In your Broadway debut.
As an actor.
As an actor. I called you personally to offer you the role, and what was your response?
You did not offer the role. You said you wanted to do the Ritz on Broadway.
That's a role.
How do I know if the role is good or not?
And so what did you say?
I said, what's the role? What track?
What's my track? What's my track? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Had you ever been on Broadway?
Sure.
And your first response, Meryl Streep, was, what's my track? Like, let me consider it.
Joe, you saw me do this to Dylan, and I can do the same to you. Dylan, how dare you? I just wanted to know what my track was.
What's my track?
But by the way, Joe, I don't know if you know this story before we go. So Joe put me in the Ritz. He gave me not only gave me a role, but he actually expanded the role. He gave me an amazing part. And he gave me this big feature in Act 2 where I had to sing Magic to Do in a unitard with white gloves on my butt. And then I did this dance like Ben Vereen. It was really fun. After the show, Joe, I don't know if you know this, but I have many Broadway diva friends came to see me and told me she loved my unitard. And she asked me what I used to pad the area around my middle. And I then had to say, it's not padding. That was my fat. And then she was like, oh, what? No, you're not fat at all. And then kept poking me in the rib area, the one area that there is no fat in. No, you're not fat. So you put me in a costume, which highlighted a wonderful area on my body. So thank you for my Broadway debut. Anything else you want to say?
I would have blamed it on William Ivy Long.
By the way, it was his fault. And that's the other thing.
Right.
I was in a bathrobe. Everyone was in their underwear. And at one point I was like, you know what? I can open my bathrobe a little bit. As I opened it was during tech rehearsal. William ran to the stage in a panic and told me no matter what, I have to keep it tied closed. So it was 2 body shaming issues. And just to finalize with you, I begged Paul Castry for a photo. Joe went to high school with my good pal, Paul Castry. They were musical theater friends together. And not since Tom Sawyer, Joe Mantello, have I seen anyone painting the barn. Any comment?
Well, you know what? We were painting it. We were painting on there, "You're a good man, Charlie Brown."
Oh.
The advertising on the Rockford. Yeah.
Who did you play?
Seth. I played Snoopy.
What's your track?
My signature role.
You're Lear. By the way, I do agree. By the way, your acting was amazing. What I loved about Joe's performance is like, I'm just obsessed with actors that can take a line that's like 2 words and have amazing subtext before the words, during the words, and after. Like, I would have just been like, "What's up?" And there was, like, it was amazing. It was like so much thought beforehand, then saying. I was just like, anyway, acting was incredible. Thank you, Joe. You still got it. Dylan, Mira, Holland, you guys were all great. It was so enjoyable, and everyone looked amazing, and the story was so uplifting. We were so scared it was going to be.
We were so nervous the first 2 episodes. We were like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if in these times we can watch this," because it's, with homophobia and racism addressed so directly, and then it's, it's an alternative universe that we always had been in around then, and it ended up being a really great show to see during these times.
Yeah, put us in a great mood. And you guys were all great. And I kept trying to pair off who was going to be together at the end. And I was right.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we have to bring in our second crew.
Oh, we're going to bring Dr. LaPook.
Oh, first, our medical correspondent. Amazing to you again, Joe. Mira, Holland, and Dylan. So nice hanging out with you. Thank you for joining us. We love Hollywood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Where is Darren? Oh. All right, we're going to bring on the doctor.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so Dr. LaPook.
Bye. Bye,
Okay,
Dylan.
any comments on the side? Dr. LaPook is here, and then we're going to bring on the next cast. So no one go into a panic that a doctor is here. I can't. Where's that? I just saw him.
He's there. You can
1, 2, 3. Chief Medical Correspondent, Dr. LaPook.
I'm here. First of all, Holland Taylor, can we talk about the powers that be, where she was as funny as anybody has ever been, ever, on any show?
How kind of you, Doctor. The fact is that show was not a success. And they had NBC or had no idea what they had on their hands, and they canceled it on Norman Lear. It was such an amazing show that they didn't know it. And it's never been resurrected on the Comedy Central channel or something.
It was brilliant. It was so brilliant.
Thank you.
And then Ann Richards.
Yes.
I was supposed to be in rehearsal this week for the West Coast premiere of it at the Pasadena Playhouse. And I've just spent the last 2 months, including yesterday, memorizing it again. It takes 2 months.
Oh my God.
Well, of course, I saw you in it on Broadway, and it was spectacular.
Thank you, sir.
You'll memorize it again. Look how well Dylan McDermott knew his lines. And on that note, thank you.
Anyway, she's amazing. There's two pieces of news today.
Yes.
One is from Israel. This is like hot off the presses. They're talking about a monoclonal antibody that may be what's called a neutralizing antibody. That's the kind that actually is the antibody you want to really get the virus, to neutralize it. And monoclonal means it's a technological tour de force. They take one cell, one B cell that's making one type of antibody, and then they can clone it or whatever it is that they're doing to make a lot so that they could use it for treatment. This is literally, I found out about this an hour ago, so I don't know any more details than that, but stay tuned, because that could be very good in terms of treatment. Remember, when we're giving the plasma, that people have recovered, they have antibodies, they take their plasma, they give it to somebody else. That's a lot of different types of antibodies, and some of them may help and some of them may not help, but if you could just make it that you're just giving people the one type of antibody that really helps, that is really cool. So that's one piece of news. And the other piece of news is we're seeing these models, of the projections of what's going to happen in terms of death, and that's always changing every single day. And now it's looking a little bit bleaker in terms of the number projection. And I think somebody was asking me about that a few minutes ago, and I said, look, you've heard this analogy that I've given before. The pandemic is a long and windy road. And if we're at the point now where we want to step on the accelerator, open up the country, then you better have your eyes open. And opening up your eyes means to see what's around the curve. It means if you're going to have these models, it's like weather forecasters, and you're going to put in numbers and they're going to change because the numbers change. You have to change your strategy based on the numbers changing. And specifically what I'm talking about is you're thinking about opening the country up right now, and you talk to the really smart epidemiologists, infectious disease people. It can't be one size fits all. It's got to be like, look at places, maybe Vermont, Montana, Alaska, that have very few number of cases relative to other places. And there, maybe think about gently opening up if you have enough testing to be able to test people. And if you have enough public health people, so if somebody tests positive, you isolate them and you figure out who their contacts are and you quarantine more. That's what you have to do very carefully. But if there's a part of the country where cases are still rapidly rising, you don't want to open up then. And yet, we're seeing people just so anxious and, to get out there. Everybody's got spring fever. You got to understand it, right? But I think you really have to embrace science right now, as you've heard me say a million times.
Yes, embrace science. Stay home. Wash your hands.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad
Dr. LaPook.
I'm glad that my people in Israel are making some advances. Yay. My people. L'chaim. All right. See you tomorrow as usual. Thank
you, Dr. LaPook.
Always so calm and sweet. Okay. Let me bring on the rest of these fabulous people from Hollywood, which you can watch on Netflix. Am I correct?
That is correct. And let's remind people to donate. And before
oh, yes. I just got a string of donations, which I'm going to send to Darren right now to read as soon as he comes on.
Okay.
Donate at starsinthehouse.com and then forward that donation, the actual email you're going to get, to starsinthehouse2020@gmail.com, and we'll have one of these fabulous people read it. So let me bring on these lovely people. First, the lady herself who stars in Meg.
That's right.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi. How are you guys?
Good.
And then we have, there he is. He was a gas station attendant, and then he went to a fabulous actor. Hi, David. What's so scary? Hi, David.
Sorry, I'm busy in the comments.
Okay, don't ever look at a comment. It never works out. Okay, believe me. And then he was in 2 Broadway shows at the same time. I still don't understand how it worked that way. Please welcome Mr. Jeremy Pope. Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, y'all. What's up, friends?
Hey.
Hey.
And then my body double.
Hey.
Anything. Hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake. There's a lot of laughing from my husband.
How's it going?
Weird.
That's right.
Hi, Jake. And then here he is, Mr. Darren Criss with a smile face.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Darren.
Hi, everybody. I'm kind of jealous that you've kind of separated us from the upperclassmen. We get to see all the kids see each other for all the press junket stuff, but when I saw like Mira and Holland and Joe and Dylan, I'm like, oh man, I miss those guys. They're so great in the show, but we don't really get to spend time with them.
You're at the kids' table, Thanksgiving.
This
style.
is the kids' table. This absolutely is.
But you have to
need to wear headphones.
We can't have everybody on at the same time. Okay, so listen, this is all for the Actors Fund, don't forget, which is for anybody in the arts. Pay their rent, their medical bills. And Darren, I already sent you the first list of donations. So can you please take out your cell phone?
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
No cursing. This is PG-14.
Yeah. Do you know how much dick there is in our show? We can say shit on this.
Thank you, Darren. I was going to say the same thing. Anyone who's in Hollywood is watching this.
It should be fun. Okay, Seth, I don't see what it is. While I search for what you sent me, please, David, can you explain to Seth what a best boy is? Go.
Yeah, what the hell is a best boy? It's not on Broadway, I'll tell you that. What's a best boy?
A best boy?
Yeah, like best boy, like on set. I mean, we can Google this. Now we're showing our colors with how like dumb we are. Meanwhile, there's crew members watching this going, "You guys are idiots." Because I forget what it is. I think it's the second in command for like the lead grip.
Oh yeah.
It's something with electricity, I know. That's all I got.
Yeah. Sorry, now I'm showing my true colors.
Wow, Darren.
You started it.
I did. I figured it was something you would know. It's a compliment.
Sorry. Let me get a call sheet.
Yeah, too late. Yeah. No, wait, Darren, Jake, and David, your lace front wigs today are stunning. I've never seen more voluminous hair. You got it going on. Jeremy, you wore a lace front in Hollywood, and now you're in a full sheer.
Sheer.
Looking stunning. All right, Darren, read away.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. What did you send me?
Oh, by the way, I forgot to push send. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, get out of here. You need your own best boy because you're the worst boy right now.
Full circle.
Here we go. Tying it back.
Shots
Fasting
fired.
me.
Shots fired.
Yeah. I've officially talked way too much for this. You have 4 other outstanding people
Darren,
here.
everybody was just waiting for you anyway.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for having me.
Not everybody.
I'm glad I
You,
could have.
Laura.
Not
You
everybody.
just got a marriage.
Oh, did I
Yeah.
get a proposal? Wow.
Laura, one of my producers, I had a producer on another show I was working on that, like, when it was announced that you were on the show, she texted me going, "Have you met her yet?" And me being like, "Who? Like Patti LuPone?" Like, no,
Yeah,
Laura Harrier. Like you have a following. People love Laura Harrier. Just
Not
saying.
as much as I love Darren Criss, but thank
Let's
you.
keep them separate. Yeah, let's keep them apart.
Can we focus our ADD, Darren? Darren,
Yes.
I beg you to read the text I sent you. It's all I
God
ask.
damn it.
But you
Oh, there we go.
said-
Okay, here we go. Let me make sure that this window is not conflicting with my other sorry, tech problems. Okay, here we go. All right. Sean with a W from Florida donated $25. He says, my husband and I binge watched Hollywood this weekend and we love it. Patrick from New Jersey gave 25 smackers. Mitchell and Andrew, $25. You are all amazing. Love the show. Thank you guys. Carries from Newport, $5. Or should I not even read the money? It doesn't matter how much you gave. We're just happy that you're part of this. Well, I don't want to make one better or worse than the other. They're all
They're all delicious.
Darren's sweet.
I'll just say this way I can go through them faster. Mitchell, Carries from Newport, Laura from New York. I binged all of Hollywood yesterday. LOVE it. Alexis from Pennsylvania. Roger from New York. Christine from Mass. Sophie from New York. Jen with 2 N's from Pennsylvania. Kate says Hollywood was absolutely brilliant. I threw a watch party for it and stayed up and finished it in one night. Kate, I'm hoping that it was a socially distanced, safe watch party.
Thank you.
James from New York, James from Brooklyn. I wonder if it's the same person and he just ran across the river. He says, can you please let Darren read this one and say, to Michelle, my belle. He wrote as in my belle as in like if I were a belle, ding dong, but I think you meant the French Beatles reference as Michelle, my beautiful. So either language, Michelle, ma belle. Très bien ensemble. Jonathan from New York, thank you to Seth and James for all your efforts on behalf of everyone who benefits from the Actors Fund. Love your shows. And scene. Good night.
Scene.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I know you're nominated for an Oscar. David, there's a little bit of we're picking you up from a serial killer's house.
Well, I feel like he's in Homeland right now.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the half dark, the blinds in the back.
So I'd like to think that I have a cinematic flair. I got tired of the boring, beautiful. All these people are so beautiful on Zoom. I don't understand how you can do it via your webcam laptop. So I set up my my actual camera because I feel like it's important to put your best foot forward.
It's Hollywood,
Well, maybe we're going to work on our set dressing because maybe the bare wall is not as.
Very Hollywood. Ryan,
Why are you blind?
Leave him
like
alone.
that?
Quit picking on our
hang on.
actors.
It's edgy.
Darren, there's been a lot of talking from you. Okay, I've had
Edgy.
it. Where is Darren? We hate Seth. All right, fine, you're back.
Is that better?
Laura, are you literally in front of a mansion? Where are you? It's a beautiful taffeta gown. What's happening? Where is
the light
this?
is stunning.
I'm just sitting at my outside table in my house, wearing a little, I don't know, like a Amish girl dress. And
Not really Amish.
I
They don't
feel
expose
sit
that
outside
much.
a little.
That's true.
And Jeremy, you also made the bold choice of a completely bare background. Where are you, dear?
I'm at my house. I decided to go simple. Tonight.
Have we thought about
But
just
I'm giving open chest. You know what I mean? So it's
Yes,
kind of like
it's
that's
very
what we're at.
Coco.
It's all here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's what Trey Jolie Coco. Fame? Anybody fame? Trey Jolie Coco?
Mm-hmm.
You all too young to know that.
Oh,
Darren.
Darren.
Thank you.
And
Come
Jeremy.
on, nobody knows. Jeremy, I'm out. Jake, where are you, dear?
I'm at my house as well. I'm in Silver Lake right now. I'm in my bedroom.
Too far. Okay.
Ooh.
We gotta have some kind of a boundary. Okay, so let's everybody tell what role we play. Laura, who do you play in Hollywood, and how'd you get the gig?
I play Camille Washington, who is an aspiring actress who's dating Darren's character Raymond the director. And I got the part because I got this really mysterious audition maybe like a year ago that just said Untitled Old Hollywood Project, and I didn't know what it was for. I went in, I did the scene from the 40s, a 40s movie. It was just these dummy sides. And I didn't hear anything for months and months. So I just kind of forgot about it and thought it was, another job that I didn't get. And then out of the blue, I got a phone call saying Ryan Murphy wanted to meet me and I'm going to do a chemistry with Darren Criss. And that was like 5 months after I did this first audition. And then I went and met Darren. He was more nervous than I was, which was really weird. And then I got the job the next day.
Hold on, Darren Criss.
Why were you nervous?
Why were you nervous?
I'm really trying to.
Empathetic.
I'm trying to stay out of this, man. But yes, I was, because I'd never done a screen test before, and I thought it was it was tough because they send the 3 girls in who were way nicer to each other than they need to have been. Compliments to Laura and the other 2 girls. Like it's cutthroat. You're like in a camera test, and Ryan Murphy's in there, and they have to make conversation, and I'm sitting there like nervous for them, and I was really nerve-wracked. It was a really crazy experience.
Because Darren, you already had the role, right?
Yeah, he had the job.
Yes, I did, and I realized that's an absurd thing to say, but
no,
it's
but
true.
I mean, there's like probably a responsibility that you feel that you have these 3 women coming in, and you want to give each one of them your best, right?
Well, I don't want to be responsible for them not feeling good about their thing,
You were amazing.
That's very sweet.
Yeah. It worked out for us.
Jeremy Pope, how did you get the role in between being nominated for every Tony for 45 Broadway shows at the same time? Go.
Okay, so it was the Sunday, a week before the Tonys. My agent had sent me this appointment, again, mysterious Ryan Murphy project. There's no script, there's nothing, but it says aspiring, attractive screenwriter. So I was like, okay.
Ooh.
Dummy side, so we're digging into
Hello?
nothing here. Laura, we hear you and we see you. You still look beautiful. You do.
That's called
What is happening?
Okay,
Is
nothing.
that just me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
I lost all of you guys. It's totally black. There is nobody here. I thought you hung up on me. No,
we're
that's
here.
me. Okay, so you asked me a question.
Anyway.
No.
Okay.
No, just me talking. You good?
Yeah.
You good, Mom?
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yes, went on camera for this mysterious Ryan Murphy project, and then the next day I got a call that we got this job. Again, it's celebrating, but not knowing what I got.
Hold on. The same week you had the 2 Tony nominations, you also got the Ryan Murphy movie?
Yes. So Saturday before the Tonys, or Sunday the Tonys, I met with Ryan and we talked about. He told me what this project was. At the time, Darren Criss and David were attached to it, but he's like, don't say anything. So here I am at the Tonys that Sunday, sitting. Darren's like 2 rows behind me. He's also like giving out the first. Was it the featured actor in a musical?
Yeah, I read Jeremy's category and I sat behind him, and I was fucking jazzed to meet you. Like I made an extra effort.
We work together. And
we got to talk, man.
Yeah.
And this whole time he knew about this thing. He had just talked, and he didn't say anything, which is
keep a secret.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
This is my first time working with Ryan. I didn't know how this worked. I didn't know if it was a test. I didn't know.
Right.
But
it's like Willy Wonka.
Yes.
Like
are
if you
you gonna
admitted
hold
it.
the secret. You know what I mean? So I held it down. And then I think it was that Monday. So Sunday was the Tonys. I didn't win. So then Monday I put in my 2 weeks notice. Yeah. That's literally how it went down.
Wow.
Why did
you
you
literally went Hollywood?
I went Hollywood.
You better come back to me. But why did you not demand yeah? Why didn't you add at least 1 riff to Hollywood? It was completely straight tone. There was no vibrato.
No vibrato. There was none. There was none asked of me.
What up with that?
I know. Again, my first Ryan Murphy project. So I wanted to come in and just do what I was told. But next time, now I know what I can do, and I'm going to give them what they need.
Ooh.
Because we know, the Broadway community knows. You know what I mean? But Hollywood doesn't know yet.
Hollywood needs to find out.
Weapon. Yeah.
David, your dimple is upstaging Jeremy. Put it down. Okay, talk about how did you get the gig?
I was kidnapped on the streets of Los Angeles, thrown into a van, and driven to the Fox lot, unceremoniously dumped into Ryan Murphy's very well furnitured office, and then had the script of Hollywood plopped on the table in front of me.
Anything else?
And then I read it, and then he came in and talked to me about it. I guess it came up after The Politician was over. I was very sad to lose that great group of people. I thought it was unlikely that they were going to bring the dead guy back for season 2. Spoilers.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wait, what?
Not a long time.
Exactly.
Laura. So yeah, and then I just had a lot of questions about the initial draft of the script was very graphic. I mean,
Where was this show, dear?
Yeah.
Oh no,
they toned it down.
What?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. We can talk about this now because I've now seen. I think we've all been kind of reserved about it, but now like Ryan has talked about how it started off as like the dial was like there's no fucking numbers on the dial anymore for how raunchy it was, and we were all kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, sure, but all right. And they dialed it like back severely to kind of focus more on the heart and the hope, which I think was a good move. But there is shit, and you know that I have a crass mouth set that I clutched my pearls at. Like there were scenes where I did things and read things that it made me nervous, made me blush.
Wait a minute. Okay, let's go back. You all said yes, even though it was that graphic?
What do you mean, even though? That was the whole point of saying yes.
You bunch of cramps.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So it actually was filmed, and then finally someone watched it, and they were like, "Even we're uncomfortable."
Or it didn't.
It's like, no, most. I mean, it's kind of like halfway. Like it was just like the descriptions of stuff were like uber salacious stuff that you wouldn't necessarily even shoot. Just like the vibe was like fucking supercharged sexuality. But you know how you shoot a scene and how it's written. There's always sort of a margin of disparity that's always going to happen. So I think we did the right thing, but it certainly didn't make the initial read through kind of like, okay.
Terrifying.
Yeah, a little terrifying. There you go. Yeah, Laura said it.
Jeremy, are you cool if I tell that story of the first time you called me?
Yes, go for it.
So the first phone call I ever got from Jeremy, he and I had met up in Los Angeles after we knew that we were both working on it and we were going to get to know each other. It was an awesome time. And then we exchanged numbers, and the first time I saw his name come up on my phone, I answered it, and he said, "So David, are you going to wear a prosthetic?" And I didn't know whether he meant I thought he meant face prosthetics because we had heard that Jake was going to have some work done. But he was talking about something else. There were a lot of conversations early on about how we were going to shoot this very graphic script that we had been given, and very important people in a lot of departments made a lot of plans that most of which didn't get used.
Yes.
Did they actually make the prosthetics?
I don't.
Yeah, we stopped like right there because again, how it all happened, we all knew about the mysterious Ryan Murphy project. Most of us said yes. Then we got episodes 1 and 2. And we were reading like, oh, okay, this is a lot, but also like gonna trust Ryan on it. So then my first day of sets, fine, we do the camera test, all good. And then it's like, hey, Jeremy, let us know when we can fit you for your prosthetic. And I'm like, oh, does Archie get beat up? Like, do I get lips? Like, what am I getting? And he's like, oh, you don't know. Okay, let me have someone like get in contact with you. And then I started to put the pieces together that we're not talking about anything above the waist of a prosthetic.
What were they talking about?
Like,
what was it? So then we had the conversation about, okay, what is the long game here? What are we really doing? And
long game is right.
Yeah.
There's too many to just keep. Yeah.
Hold on, we need to take the poor Jake.
Yeah, Jake.
Jake, how did you get the gig? Go.
He didn't need a prosthetic.
I played Dick Samuels, and I got the gig. I'm just kidding. I play Rock Hudson. It was the same. I was in the same boat as Laura and what Laura and Jeremy described, which is I had no idea. It was kind of unknown sides from old hearsay 40s film, and then after that, I got to sit down and talk to Ryan, and he was pretty fervent about that era and about rock. So that was exciting to sit down with someone and kind of get on that wavelength, and it was
How long were you in hair and makeup every day? I think you should tell the world.
First it was like 2 hours, and then it shaved down to about an hour and a half.
Wait, why? What were you getting done in hair and makeup? You're stunning. What did you have to get done?
So much.
Yeah, the earlobes, the bottom lip, some eyelids, and then there's a small piece on the nose. I have like a little dip in my nose, and they made it not have that
go away.
And you had those wacky ass teeth that like I couldn't. You and Jim
Those are
had this like
crazy.
teeth thing that I just couldn't take you. It took me forever to be able to take you remotely seriously.
yeah
I
I have
forget
a hard
every
enough
time I
time.
would talk to you too, and the teeth were just so in your
Yeah,
face.
Yeah.
Hard to focus.
It's hard enough to take Jake seriously, much less with fucking fake teeth.
what
in
are you
his
talking
mouth.
about, man?
Yeah.
He's gonna kick your ass.
Jake, is that because you were the only one amongst these who played an actual who was a real person? Is that why they wanted you to look like Rock Hudson?
Yes, yeah.
Well,
I hope so.
right. Was there like an added pressure or anything because you were portraying like an alternative version of this real life man?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, daunting in itself. He's such an icon. So it's hard not to step on set the first few days and almost like feel a presence, but especially working with everyone that's on the screen. It's, but I think you just got to remind yourself to pay homage and be present and just that's just show up and yeah.
But you're so crazy young. Did you know who Rock Hudson was, or did you find out when you got the part?
Yeah, I had watched Pillow Talk. I was at NYU.
I love Pillow Talk.
Yeah, with Doris Day. And then I guess when I first moved to LA like 6-7 years ago, I went through like kind of a, I guess, lonelier phase where I'd watch all these these old black and white films. And so that was like my healthy form of escapism, I guess, and I knew who Rock was. I often find myself posing the question, what would these guys do in the golden era, or even like Brando time, or Paul Newman, Redford. I miss the old days, I guess, even though I wasn't there.
You're an old soul. Okay, so,
Jake's the sensitive one of the band.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's the bass player.
but Darren claiming you're all sort of musical theater people, not you, Jake, but he's saying that David and Jeremy. David, how are you a musical theater person? Did you ever do musicals when you were younger?
Yeah, I did a lot of musicals when I was younger. I did Upper Darby Summer Stage, which is a great program outside of Philadelphia. It's where Tina Fey went when she was
That's like why? Because we know Tina. I'm like, what do I know? Upper Darby. Oh wow.
Shout out to Upper Darby. And, oh gosh, I did as I was coming up, I did Music Man Jr. I did Peter Pan Jr. I did Pinocchio Jr. I did High School Musical 2 Jr.
Isn't that already Junior? Sorry.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think it's it's a feature length, man.
David, who'd you play in Music Man?
Music Man, I was a shapoopy dancer, and I had a little solo in the Wells Fargo Wagon.
My friend Anna Gasteyer is always talking about being the belter in high school and having to do Aura double boiler. What was your signature solo?
My solo was I don't know, something like, or it could be something special. Just for me. But I was 14 years old, and I couldn't bring myself to sing it up the octave, so I had to sing it down the octave, so you couldn't hear a word of it.
I had the same thing because I was a rabbi. I was like 13 when I was a rabbi in Fiddler on the Roof, and it was like, a blessing on your head. Low. So you and I did Jeremy, before you, what high school shows did you do, Jer?
Oh my God, my introduction to theater, I played Skimbleshanks and Cats. My dad made my costume.
Wait a minute.
What, in high school?
Yeah, was it an illegal production of Cats?
It had to be.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, illegal. That was that, and then I was Ren McCormick in Footloose. I was Seymour and Little Shop of Horrors, my senior year. There we go.
Hit it.
Give me an, we getting in?
Ooh.
This is going to be a mess.
Suddenly, are you ready? Standing beside you.
A flat.
He don't give no order. He's on the same. Suddenly, Seymour. What is it? It's here to provide you with sweet understanding. Seymour's your friend.
There it is.
Wow.
Nobody ever.
Jeremy,
Come on.
you got it. Darren, the solos were a little bluegrass, but I'll still buy it. Excellent.
A little major pentatonic. Sorry. Can I just shout out Jake and also being and David, this is not to leave Laura out. Feel free to jump in if you want to contribute to this this accusation. But Jeremy and I, while we've done Broadway shows, we have a lot of musical ability on this show. And I will lead with Jake because Jake is also an amazing MC and producer of and not MC from this. I'm talking about a thing called hip hop. This isn't the MC from Cabaret. I'm
go out on.
Sass. Any sass at all? You're blocked.
I'm trying to shout out the ability of everybody else.
He's a rapper.
Jake is an incredible rapper and has amazing original music. I just thought I would put that out there.
I mean, Jake, this is the most important thing. I know about the rapping, but I also know that you're an ice hockey expert, and so am I. I'm not, but I researched some questions. So let's see if you know the answers to these ice hockey questions. Now, by the way, why do you know ice hockey so well?
I mean, I basically could skate before I could walk, really. My dad played at West Point, and we did a lot of frozen pond stuff. So I feel like I know the game. You know, I like playing more than like statistics, but are you about to...
Jake, you made the mistake of doing the sound check while we were on. So this one heard you talk about that, and he immediately went around the corner.
I can't hear what?
Don't worry about it. I'll text you the questions. We try that trick on Broadway. My body mic's out. Don't even try. What city had the only rained out ice hockey game?
Bobby Orr. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. What did you say? What city had the only...
rained out ice hockey game? It's ice hockey lore.
Maybe. What are you talking the Winter Classic? Like when they're playing outside?
Do you think he knows?
Chicago.
Don't you know
the answer?
Chicago.
I'm really. Do you know the group ABBA? Like they learn everything phonetically. Like I don't know anything. I'm just really reading the questions. I don't know what they mean. So I'm going to go to question number 2 because so far 0. Who's the only? San Jose, the Sharks Arena, the river flood.
Obviously, I know.
Get it?
Of course.
Okay.
Who is the only NHL player ever to score 5 goals 5 ways in one game?
Wayne Gretzky.
Close. Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux.
Thank you. Where was the NHL's first ever outdoor game? I'll give you a hint. Viva!
Las Vegas. I don't know.
Yes, down the octave, but yes.
He did nail the octave. He didn't bat an eyelash.
That's right. It was dead-eyed Las Vegas. Very good. But by the way, here's an interesting follow-up. What invaded the rink in the middle of this outdoor game in Las Vegas? Do you know what invaded the rink? Literally, it was a plague of grasshoppers.
It was grasshoppers?
Yes.
What? Grasshoppers?
Yeah,
Okay.
do your research. Anyway,
I'll study up.
By the way, we thought you were amazing in the screen test. To me, it is so hard to act
Bad.
to act like you're messing up. Like it was so real.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, I was like, is he improvising all these? Like, by the way, spoiler alert. But were those all scripted or was that like all improv? Because it was so real.
I know it's definitely an odd thing to even like the memorization process, memorizing something incorrectly. But I think, not to sound cheesy, but we all search for that like feeling of flow as artists, and it's definitely hard to do that but I think Janet Mock, she created that atmosphere where it was like you can you're free to fail here, especially because you're failing. So that I just had fun with that,
I will say it's some improvs
so good.
that were like great. Yeah, I remember on the day I was like, oh man, this guy's fucking hilarious.
That was fun. I remember you and I were like doing squat jumps and like dancing around on that day because the energy.
Yeah,
just
it
to
was
keep
long.
the energy up.
You have to keep the energy. You were fantastic. It's tough to have to learn the lines of fucking up because having like those are natural things, even though we do them all the time. But you squashed it, man. You crushed it.
Thank you, man.
Darren, I just sent you a second list of donations. We're getting so many donations, so read that. And Laura, let me ask you a question. Laura, are you the type of person that like, I'm not gonna let my parents watch this show at all? Or were you like, whatever, like the body's a beautiful thing?
No, I was so scared for them to watch it, for sure. But I also was almost too awkward to address it. So I kind of just pretended like it wasn't gonna happen and just kept putting it off and like maybe they just won't see it. like no warning. And it was fine. I think my dad probably just walked out of the room or something like that.
You never got a text after like go to church.
No.
Okay.
No. To like start praying. No.
Okay.
They're fine. And honestly, like everything was toned down, especially I guess definitely for me. I feel like mine and Darren's stuff was pretty PG-13. Not like these guys over here really had to who went for it. Yeah.
Compared to Evita, yeah. Can you please read our second list of donations, dear?
Yes, I will. I will say I was just talking with the other guys how I kind of want to get the kids who are watching the show because a lot of different folks are watching it. We've managed to hit a lot of different. I think that the technical term would be quadrants, but it's been a really cool thing seeing a lot of different people watch. And I want to see. This is a challenge right now to internet kids if you're watching this. I want to see whether it's through TikTok or Instagram, or whatever, because I feel like a lot of parents are watching this, maybe with their kids at home. I would love to see like a selfie video of the parts because there's parts where it's like a fun 40s show. This should be fun. And then when you get whacked on the head with like some gratuitous sex, I just want to see what that reaction is.
Well, I know that my little brother couldn't watch it with my parents. He like walked out of the room and was like, I need to watch this by myself. They watched it separately.
The room. I was like, get out.
If you see this on the internet, I want to see these. I want to see these videos popping up everywhere. I want to see the reactions of people that don't know what they're in for and the conflict of enjoyment.
We're going to do another live tweet of viewing party of episodes 3 and 4 tomorrow night, I think at 5 p.m. Pacific. So that would be the perfect time. Bring your moms, bring your dads.
Yeah, we want to see people react to this.
Let me ask one thing before we read those donations. Just spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, just whatever. But Darren, were you actually going to hook, as we say, when all 4 of you got together and you were like, whatever.
We were wondering about that.
Like, as long as my girlfriend knows.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. Hey, he was prepared to do anything for his dreams, okay?
Yeah, come on.
Listen, the price of dreams is high, but it's reachable if you got enough moxie to hook yourself for your movie. Lesser men have died for less.
Some heavy duty hooking. All right, read those donations.
In a French accent.
Alex from Texas. For $10. Thank you so much. That's all you get. Casey from Florida. Thank you for so much. Well, this is what she says. Casey from Florida. Thank you so much for helping the arts. It's one thing that I think holds us together. Could not agree with you more, Casey. Cheers to that. Raina, or Rena, if I'm mispronouncing that, from Connecticut. She gave a big old $103. I don't know if that number has any kind of significance, but it certainly does for us. I would love for Darren to sing "I Don't Mind." I would do it. I'll maybe attack at the end so I don't bore my other friends that are on here that don't know what that song is. Lauren, thank you for supporting such a fab charity, is what Lauren says. Shelly from Ohio says, thanks and keep up the amazing work. Jess and Alex from Long Island say, Darren, we love you. Thank you very much. I love you too. Maddie from Manitoba. I love the alliteration. She says, I love watching your videos. You're doing good work. You're doing good work over there, pals. I think that's for you, James and Seth.
Thank you.
Shane from Texas. I just donated to the Actors Fund in memory of Darren's father, Charles Criss. Oh, thank you very much. I'll just say last name is C-R-I-S-S, but no worries. The sentiment is more important than the spelling error. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that sentiment. And that goes for anybody out there, by the way, that has sent such lovely messages to me and my family, whether you knew them or not. It's very much appreciated. It's very, very sweet. Thank you. And Annabelle from Australia says, hello. Says good eye. Samara Weaving is not with us. She plays the other member of this crew. She's unfortunately sick. I think she'd be here with us if she was feeling better. And the only reason why I say that is because she's very Australian and probably would have done that a lot better than me. Carolyn from Texas, happy with whatever Darren wants to sing. I'm really getting suckered into something. Aaron from California, thank you for this. My favorite scenes are between Joe and Holland. I would agree. They are divine. Lisa from the UK, Allison from Illinois, Tara from New York, or as I would say, Tara with my Californian accent, Julie from Massachusetts, Rich from New Jersey, Claire from New York, and thank you for all your guys' donations and kind words. There's a lot of other nice things that were said to me that I'm just going to hold on to and say thank you out there, but mainly thank you for everybody.
Just for the record, I said like half of them.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. I knew it. You were on your phone earlier. I saw you.
Shocking. Like, James wants to talk because your character is half Filipino in the film, and we were talking before.
Oh, the early scene, right? About you passing. Did that issue ever come up, or did you in your real life, or did you ever experience?
We don't have enough time for me to get into this. It's like a new thing that I've had to think about because the short of it is I've been half Filipino my entire life.
Yes.
And just nobody asked about it until recently. And so, it's very strange. Like I said, I'm very careful with my words because it's something I've always loved about myself and a community I've always identified with. But I've said things that maybe sometimes weren't enough for the community. I think anybody that's biracial will attest to this. But you're either not enough of one thing or you're too much and you want attention for it. It's a very strange thing. It's kind of a moving target. Other people know what I'm talking about. It's a strange little thing, but you're you people kind of will you to be whatever they see you as, but you also know what your identity is. So it's that kind of constant give and take of trying to meet them in the middle. So I guess the concept of white passing was a very important thing to introduce into this show because we have people of color, we have queer people, we have people of different ages, and so I think adding just gonna attack Laura.
Wait,
it's a dragon out there. Be careful.
Anything's
crazy.
And so will our dog. I'll be right back.
Wait, what was that? Attacking you?
Oh my God, it was like a beetle like this big. You guys see that?
Jimbo.
It's clear on the screen.
We didn't see anything, Laura. We didn't see anything before, and we didn't see
It was
anything.
in my head.
I think nature went, Darren's going off about race. Let's get rid of him. And they said, let's just, this is too serious. Let's send the bugs and send the dogs. Let's get back to Hollywood.
Jeremy was so mad he left.
Yeah, he was like, I'm outraged by this conversation.
But I want to know, Jake, you're too young to have to get to soft lighting. You're not Lucy Ball and Mame. What's happening?
He's
no
texting
idea.
me telling my light is edgy. Come on, man.
My light's changing, huh?
Okay, so wait, I need to first of all, Hollywood is on Netflix. Jake, you look crazy. Hollywood's on Netflix. You need to binge watch. Darren, you promised us a song, so you need to deliver because people have been donating. So deliver something because we're all waiting.
What's like a 1940s like tune that we can all sing along? Well, actually, I do have a song it's funny because I think of it as a 1940s song, even though it is not. It is neither from the 1940s and is neither told in a period that is the 1940s. But for some reason, every time I think of this song, you'll know what I'm talking about as soon as I play it. You'll go, oh yeah, that isn't 1940s, but somehow I associate it with it.
Okay, let's do
it. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. It's about movies, so it kind of counts. It's kind of about Hollywood. What a globe! Because what is it? When was that made?
53, I think.
53, and it's about like after the 20s. So we just missed the pocket, but it's a famous movie.
And they're like crazy sex scenes like Hollywood. Keep going.
Yeah, and I'm happy again. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain. We're in a tune. We're singing in everybody. The rain.
In the rain.
Sing.
What if I just kept doing that?
Did you change keys? If anybody can ever figure out how to sing in sync with people online, God, that'd be a great invention.
Yeah, it's me protecting myself from having to sing with all of you because there's too much latency. Jeremy's gonna come flying in with some crazy riffs. Jake's gonna start spitting. You're gonna David's amazing pianist. He's gonna start doing stuff.
I'm just back here.
I'm hopping. She's at the mansion. She's in heaven. So. you keep doing that. You keep doing that, girl.
Yeah, you look great while we make fools of ourselves.
So guys, is there any like Hollywood Part 2 coming up? It went from Peg to Meg to maybe Leg. I don't know. Is it gonna be like something else next?
We don't know. I think we're all listen. Hey, spread it around the water cooler. I don't know. Try and get the word started. It's certainly not up to us. Hopefully people can continue to spread the word about the show and generate more excitement about it. We've been really fortunate in the past few days. People seem to be responding pretty well to it. So, hey, I, for one, I'm game, but I cannot confirm or deny that happening.
Yeah,
Jake,
I signed on. I co-signed.
What about you, Jake? Would you wear the teeth prosthetic again?
Whatever it calls for, yeah, for sure.
David, would you wear
Price of dreams?
That's we'll figure.
Will we go see you later?
Yeah. TTYL.
Get back to me.
Yeah.
And are there any other projects that we should be talking that's coming up for any of you guys? Like watch me on, see me on, anything happen? Darren, you're on Quibi. I know that, right?
Yeah, that comes out
first.
soon. That's coming out pretty soonish. We'll see when that all happens. But yeah, it's coming around. She's coming around. The Wells Fargo wagon is a coming, and it could be something special just for you.
Jake, you got a big ice hockey game with Grasshoppers coming up, right?
Yeah. I'm filming that next week.
Because you don't have to social distance with bugs. It's cool, as Laura has demonstrated. You can be close to bugs.
Yeah, right. It can come right in your face.
Jeremy, what about you? Another Tony nomination coming up?
I don't. No, I was in New York. I was filming. I'm going to be on third season of Pose, so I was going to work with Ryan and Janet again, but we got cut. So I'm back in LA, but hopefully we get back to that soon. So yeah, Pose.
But you're going to finish that.
We are going to finish. We are. So as soon as everything is, up and running again, I will go back to New York and start filming that again.
And you're not going to be one of those annoying people that leave Broadway for TV and never come back.
Never. I am dying to get back on that stage.
Okay, good.
We are working overtime. We are reading everything we can. I'm itching to get back on that stage.
Good. I want to make sure we support that. David, what about you? What's next for you?
I'm just getting ready to make my self-tape for the upcoming Dylan McDermott, Leslie Jordan film that Ryan
announced yesterday.
So there's no script yet, but I'm going to make a tape and just see what happens.
Okay, cool. Just
That's usually how it goes.
Ryan Murphy, guys. And Laura, what about you besides avoiding your parents?
Never talking to them again. No. I have some stuff, but then everything's kind of on hold right now. So we'll see. I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, it's just weird times. So I'm going to hopefully get past this and then life will kind of go back to normal.
Hey, Darren, you can get your wish, but we'll have to sacrifice because there's one of the other class that's still here watching. So we're going to go away, and then you can talk to her. So, Mira Sorvino, we're going to...
Whoa. Wait, don't kick someone off for me. That's ridiculous. Hi guys. I was told I was supposed to stay on the whole time in case you were going to come back.
Well, we were all sitting here while you all were talking. Yeah.
Well, we're happy to see you.
Yeah.
You look very beautiful, Laura. I love you look like, summertime.
Trying.
It looks so pretty. It's like it's sickening. It's really sickening.
Darren, but I feel the same about you.
See, now you had to say that. Anyway, we'll take it. But goddamn,
take it.
Mira, I want to know how much of your resume did you make up just to impress them?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I'm still trying to remember what the Long March is. I think it was part of like the revolution, but I don't know. Maybe when Chiang Kai-shek's army was marching across, I don't know. So I was like, well, maybe I did make that up, but I was a Chinese studies major.
Mira,
I didn't make anything up.
Set yourself up.
Mira, everyone knows the Long March was a retreat by the Red Army that traversed over 9,000 kilometers. Hello.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Never heard of it before.
You're a good sport, Mira. That's pretty amazing. Like who remembers their things from their major? That's not fair. You're like, in your early 20s trying to graduate. How are you supposed to retain all that?
Wait, Darren.
Yeah, I remember more about my thesis than I do about like the general things we studied.
Well, you also spoke perfect Mandarin a second ago. That was insane. That was amazing. Like,
how did you know it was perfect?
Well, that's true.
It sounded perfect.
Well, he may speak, but you are a polyglot. Darren, don't you speak like 7 languages?
Ni EDR 普通话吗?
很好，你的。
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be.
会说普通话吗？一懂。
他会，真的。
The answer is
Yeah, he speaks Mandarin too.
That's literally
He
the only
speaks a lot of
Mandarin.
languages. He is a very intelligent young man and a very good singer, by the way. That was beautiful. And that you can transpose. I mean, that's impressive.
I've literally used all my tricks, and you'll hopefully see more of them in a hopeful Hollywood season 2.
There you go.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah.
On that note,
All right, you guys were also great. So here, Darren, why don't you accompany? We're gonna play the credits right now.
there you go.
One of your signature accompanyings.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're gonna roll the credits. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go.
1, 2, 3, go.
Executive producer Seth, Margie, and James, Wesley, Blake, Ross, David, Pat, Griffin, Vanessa, Tyler. It's going too fast, but Maria, Cecily, Blake in the house, streaming Peter, Flynn, Hudson, Flint, Eli Carpenter, Tara Rubin. Special thanks to people I didn't get the names of, but director, communications director, David Engelman, director, Douglas from Ramirez, and special thanks to Spot Code. I kind of went all in on Spotco and just decided to neglect everybody else.
That's not the end of it.
Got the big thing. And then the stars in the house is made possible by a bunch of people I didn't see the name of.
Yeah. Come on. Thanks, everybody.
Everyone.
And the broadcast. Let me see this work.